Uh, my best counsel to anyone, to absolutely anyone, is to mind their own business. First, their things are gonna be just so tighter. They're gonna be more aware of where they're at in their own things. Won't have their mind distracted by the business of somebody else, and they won't get involved into the business of somebody else when they should not, especially when it's at the expense of their own business. Mind your own business. So I mind my own business. Should you believe it or not, I'm following my counsel very adequately. USA are neighbors to us, Canadians. I live in Montreal, are very close to, and USA are our only neighbors, and they are the United States of America. We don't have any other neighbors. They my ability to understand their situation is that any other country would send delegate of Grandmaster Flash to make some sort of demonstration, to make something of a representation, and then go back home, claiming how much of a hero they are, until another nation sends a delegate of doing something awful, just to walk back home and be the hero of crapping into the United States. United States must keep the momentum of shocking, must keep their own insanity within their own control. And at some point, they're so efficient at it, any other representative of any other agenda is totally diluted in how many people they are in the United States and how well they serve their own craziness of being in North America to start with, where this land is different from anywhere else. Each lands are unique, but this is the new world. And here there's the Great Lakes, the Yellowstones, the Great Canadian Shield, everything, the Grand Canyon, everything is absolutely gigantic. From my perspective, South America is somehow the same. How big are these trees? How deep are these forests? It's still a fantastic land of that used to be the New World. So, still minding my own business. Canada is part of what used to be the British Empire, where the sun never set. From my very cynical perspective, when USA claimed independence during the Independence Day, they claimed it from the Commonwealth. They say we are especially not the likes of you. They used to be a British colony. I'm quite simplistic, but gaining the independence is from the likes of us, the Commonwealth, the very tight British inspired monarchy and infused type of culture, and it goes pretty well actually. That dance of that is close to conservative liberalism kind of relation. These polarity somehow balance very well. Donald Trump came back from a trip to England with his right hand having a huge bruise that is not a sign of decay that he's turning into a zombie. It's by handshaking. All right, that I mean, whatever you were thinking of Mister Commander in Chief of the Army, end up with a bruise of shaking hands. But from my perspective, the British who welcomed Mr. Trump made it clear to squeeze his hand too hard, and several times, like it's intentional to leave a print on his hand by what I consider brutality. That was brutal behavior from British, whoever what, because I don't know what type of services takes care of that kind of situation. So, from my humble perspective, it doesn't look that good. All right, I'm a Canadian citizen, and if I may, I don't want that. I don't want that kind of behavior whatsoever. Freaking ever. You trespass into North American pride somehow. You don't do that. They're just a neighbor, and that the insignificant little White House over there. But leaders don't do that. They don't act like that. I totally disapprove it. So let's just try something of my own level of influence, and make sure that each time I've used my parody of knowledge of someone who knows England, who knows British Empire, each time I use the term Scotland Yard. So Scotland Yard, this one's for you. I have over here graphite. That's a line made of graphite. It's a carbon crystal. Right beside it, when I'm smoking, I'm making a line of plain ashes, that is carbon. And in between, I'm adding a white line of hill paste, zinc oxide. That's not exactly what the bruise was because it was in that direction. Anyway, that's an intensity technically you can't pull because, weirdly enough, our nervous system is able to produce electromagnetic field that will damage the nervous system itself through different means, like bioelectrical interference of the iron oxide that feeds the neuron in oxygen, and probably other aspects that damage the neuroglia, the astrocyte that feeds the neurons, and other aspects that you will know as well. These things, there's level of intensity I think, from my perspective, you cannot reach. And that's where I'm at. I've been squeezing these two fingers all along. I've been explaining about the electromagnetic pulse. Let's do this. Scotland Yard. It's in my file of your quality, about British quality, whatever it means to you. Have a good day.